Have you ever found yourself struggling to decide which software to use to edit your short film? Are you a high school video student and you don't have the time to learn a complex software like Adobe Premiere Pro? Well, I have the perfect solution for you. Please do not stress about anything. It is called DaVinci Resolve. Now, DaVinci Resolve is let me get this straight, a very controversial editing software amongst the editing community. Some say it's too simple. Some say it's too complicated. I say it is in the Goldilocks zone. The Goldilocks zone is essentially perfect for anyone. So, in today's video, we are going to be covering the most basic things about DaVinci Resolve. So, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So, the first thing that you're going to do is open up your browser. Now, my browser is Google Chrome. This works on pretty much any browser. Then type in DaVinci Resolve download and then click on DaVinci Resolve 20 presented by Blackmagic Design. Once you've done that and added it to your computer, open up DaVinci Resolve. Now, DaVinci has this fun little opening thing where you can see all the most expensive stuff you've ever seen in your entire life. You don't need to buy that to run DaVinci Resolve, I promise. Now, you guys can't see any of this stuff, obviously, because those are the films that I haven't released yet, and that would be the exact opposite purpose of my YouTube channel. So, whenever you get into DaVinci Resolve, yours is going to be very, very blank, assuming this is the very first time you've ever opened it. So, what you're going to want to do is, of course, make sure that Untitled Project is selected. Click a New Project. Go ahead and title that project. Pick the location that you want the media to save to. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. And then click Create. The easiest thing you could ever do is press Create. Okay, now that you've gotten this far in the video, what you're going to want to do is put a video into the software. And there are two ways that you can do this. There's probably more, but we're only going to talk about two, okay? So, what you're going to want to do is, first off, the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to open up to this tab. This is going to be your Cut tab. This is where you're going to go through your rough cut. Now, if you're just getting into film, don't worry about rough cuts and fancy things like that. Just click on this page if you're not on this page. Then you're going to see no clips in media pool. That is very bad. That is very bad. That's not a good thing. So be sure to right click and select import media. Once you've done that, go ahead and import a video. Any video that you want. For me, it's going to be this video that I have here. That is a JPEG. That's not a video. Once you've done that, go ahead and take that video and drag it down to the cut timeline. And ta-da! We have a video in DaVinci Resolve. Heck yes. Now, as I said, this is where you're going to go through your rough cut. You don't have to do that because, well, I find those kind of annoying. To be honest, I never do rough cuts. I probably should, but I don't. Anyway, once you have your video imported, go ahead and select the Edit tab, which is down here. Once you've done that, there are a few features that we are going to cover. So let's get into it. If for some reason you still have not imported your video and you find yourself in the Edit tab, go ahead and go up here to Media Pool. And once you click on Media Pool, import a video. You can drag and drop, or you can right-click again and select Import Media. Now, get out of that tab by simply just selecting that tab again so that you have your entire Edit tab available to you. If you need to change your aspect ratio, please tell me you know what that means. Aspect ratio. Okay, so to change your aspect ratio, you're going to go up here to this little guy. This little guy is going to be your aspect ratio tab. And DaVinci Resolve is so nice, they have it sectioned off for you. So you have your social media tabs. You have your broadcast and film tabs. Hint, hint. You have your safe area guides and your ruler guides. So if you wanted to center something, you have guidelines for that. Once you've selected your aspect ratio, go ahead and click out of that tab. Okay, as we can see, we have two very distinct colors on the screen. That would be blue and green. I just rhymed there, did not mean to, but that was kind of cool. And as we can see, these are kind of tiny. You know, I can't really see them. So say you want those to get bigger. All you're going to do is simply go over here to this little thingamajiggy, click it, and drag it. Just click it and drag it. Just click it and drag it. That's all you got to do. And you can do the same thing with your audio tab. Primarily, you would be doing this with your audio tab because you don't really need to see your video 2 times. I mean, if you do, yeah, you're probably blind. I would suggest getting glasses, but not everybody has that kind of money. So, you can simply just expand it. Yeah. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to equalize the audio. I cannot stress about this enough. I have seen so many films, and so many of them do not have equalized audio, and I want to shoot my toes off whenever I watch them, okay? So, the first thing we're going to do is equalize the audio. How do you do that? Well, as you can see in the audio track, there is a little white line right here. And if we hover our cursor over that line, we see 2 tiny arrows that point up and down. All you got to do is select that bar, and you're going to see a little black square pop up that says 0.00 dB, aka decibels, or your volume. And you're going to drag that whichever way you want your audio to go. Please do not drag it up. That is look at that. Just drag it down. Drag it all the way down. You can drag it down to the center, and it will pretty much be equalized. If you need to equalize it even more, you're going to come to this tab. That's not the right thing. This is your Fairlight tab. Click on it. Once you've clicked on it, you're going to see some cool stuff. But we're not going to mess with that cool stuff. We're going to mess with one thing. And that thing is called a fader. That fader is located right here. This little guy. As you can see, it's at -10. I lied. That says 10. My apologies. So, go ahead and click on that and drag it any which way that you want it to be. Preferably, I keep mine between 15 and 10, just because that's a pretty good place for me, or at least for my preferences, and that's going to edit this audio track. Okay, so now that we have equalized our sound, we need to start editing our video, and how we do that is we use the Cut tool to make cuts in our video. So, where's the Cut tool? Well, it's going to be in your toolbar. This is your toolbar right here, this little bar filled with tools. Thus, why it's called toolbar. So, go ahead and select your blade tool. You can simply press B on your keyboard. That's the space bar. That's not what I wanted to do. You can simply press B on your keyboard to select this, or you can go up here and physically click on it. For the purpose of this video, we're showing you, of course, both ways. So, B or click it. And you're going to come to your video and simply tap the track in which you want to cut. This can be your audio track or your video track. Notice how we're making little cuts in all of these videos and audios, right? Now, if we go back to our select tool, which is A on your keyboard, or you can come up here and physically select it, we can drag these audio clips any which way that we want to. Same with the video clips. We can drag them anywhere on the timeline. Now, say you tragically messed up and you don't actually want to cut all of these individually and you want to cut them in a whole. Well, that is a little feature called linked selection. Linked selection is also located in your toolbar. That is located right here, this little chain that is linked together. Go ahead and click on that. That is going to be Shift-Command-L for my MacBook users. Guys, I have no idea what it is for Windows, okay? I don't. I've never used a Windows computer in my entire life. So, I only know Apple stuff. Anyway, so Shift-Command-L for my MacBook users, or just simply click on it. What this does is it allows you to cut both your video track and your audio track in the exact same spot while only clicking on one of the two. Okay, so we're going to go back to our blade tool, B or select it, and as you're going to see, that little orange line goes all the way through both tracks, and that is where we're going to cut both tracks at. Now we can click on any of the tracks, the video track or the audio track, no matter which one, it will cut both of them. So, that's how that works. Okay, so now that we have this, we're going to make a little cut. We're going to turn off link selection. We're going to make a little cut on that video right there so we can add an effect to this clip. So just for the sake of examples, we're going to drag this up in the timeline, which is going to add another video section known as video 2. And that's where our second, that's where our second set of videos is going to be located. Now, What we're going to do with this video is we're going to add some effects to this video. How do you add an effect? Well, let me show you. You're going to go up here and you're going to click on the Effects button, and that is going to open up an Effects tab full of, you guessed it, effects. So, how do you add an effect to a video? Well, first you're going to find the effect that you want. This can be a title, this can be an audio transition, a video transition, a FX filter, a Fairlight FX filter, or an AU effect. So, those are all your options through Resolve. I'm sure you can add foreign effects to Resolve, but we're not going to cover that in this video. So we're going to go to filters or actually, you know what? We're going to go to effects because I want you guys to be able to see what this does. So go in here and pick any of the effects that you want. So we're going to do CCTV. As you can see, that adds an overlay to our video. Here's what it looks like before, right? And then we hover over the CCTV option, and it shows us what CCTV looks like. So, to add that to the video, what you're going to do is, you can also scrub. I forgot to mention. You can scrub along the effect to see what that effect looks like in real time. To add that effect to the video, you're going to click on it. It's going to highlight orange. And you're going to drag that effect down to the clip in which you want to add the effect to. Now, as we can see, without me selecting the effect over here, it already has that effect on there. That's because we added it to the video. So now we're going to watch that with that effect. As you can see, that's kind of cool. Now, if you don't want that, just go ahead and undo, and it will go away. So that's how you add effects. Now we're going to look at something that is fairly controversial, I've noticed, in a lot of different types of film flows. People don't really like to use sounds that are in the software, but DaVinci Resolve, in my opinion, has one of the best sound libraries ever. It does not come native to the download. It is a separate download, so you do have to download that outside of the DaVinci Resolve 20 download. But once you have downloaded it, you're going to come up here to Sound Library, and it's going to give you the option to download it if you haven't, so just click download and it'll download for you. You do have to import it, just so you know. And you're going to go to search. Now, we're going to search up car. And as you can see, tons and tons of car sound effects have just appeared in this little menu. How do we add those to the timeline? Well, you're going to click on them, and you're going to drag them down to the timeline. As we can see, that audio is now on the timeline, and we're still dragging it so we can place it. We're going to put it right here. So now there is a car sound effect right there. We're going to mute this track. To mute a track, just press M on the track. And now we're going to listen to that car effect while it's on the track. That was the car effect. Now, say you don't want to add it to the timeline and you just want to listen to it to see if you want to add it to the timeline. Well, same thing. Go ahead and click on that audio. Don't click it and drag it. Just simply click it and press play up here. And that's going to allow that timeline to play for you so that you can hear that audio. Okay, another thing that you're probably going to want to know how to do in DaVinci. And this is, of course, your zoom in, zoom out feature. Sometimes details are so small that you need to be so close to the timeline in order to actually edit it. In my opinion, you'd use this for fades or sounds or things like that. How you do that is you go to this little plus and minus thing, and you drag that which way you want it to be. This is super zoomed in. As we can see, frame by frame, it drags frame by frame, and we can even see frame by frame of the video and the sound. Now, if we want it to be super tiny, because we have so much footage, we can make it extremely small, and that's how tiny it is. Typically, for editing, you'd want it right about in the middle so that you can see everything perfectly. And yeah, so that is how you edit the video. The most basic things that you could possibly do to edit the video are the things that I explained. In order to export this video, there are two ways that you can do that. You can quick export the video, or you can render the video. This is how you do that. Quick export, you're going to come up here, click on that, and you're going to click where you want it to go, what resolution, and click export, and boom, it's going to export for you. If you want to render this video in the highest quality it can possibly get, you're going to go down to this little rocket ship called Deliver. Once you're here, you're going to see all these more settings, right? You're going to come up here, you're going to name it. We're just going to keep it untitled. We're going to name it Untitled 2. We're going to select the location that we want it to download. I want it to go to my archives folder, so we're going to click that, and we're going to open it. Once we've opened that archives folder, that's where the file is selected to go, so that's where the file will render to. Now here's all of our other editing options. We can format this, we can change the resolution, change the frame rate, change the quality, we can encode it, we can use keyframes here if we want to show those keyframes. There's different options for that. There's advanced settings, and there's even subtitle settings, so if you want to change your subtitles, you can do that. And then up here are your render settings, so you can render this to different types of standards. So for this one, we're going to use H.264 master. And what you're going to do is once you've done all your settings, you're going to come down here, you're going to add to render queue. Now that adds it to this thing over here, and this is your render queue. As we can see, we have job 1, which is just task 1. That's our render. That's the video that we will be rendering. In order to render that video, you're going to come down to the very bottom and press render all. Now, this video is going to start playing. It's going to start rendering as many frames as it possibly can in the highest quality that it can. As you can see, it's automatically scrubbing the video, automatically rendering each frame, each sound, each tiny minute detail. And how you can tell where the progress is you're just going to look up here at the render itself, and you're going to see 2 green things. You can look at the track itself, where it is on your track, or you can look at the percentage. 2 ways that you can do that. It also gives you an estimate of how long it's going to take. So we added it to the archives folder. So what we're going to do is we're going to shrink this down a little bit, and we're going to go to our archives folder. As we can see, that video is already in there, right? It's timeline1.mov, which is .movie. It's already in there, but we can't open it because it hasn't finished rendering. So once that video finishes rendering right here, there we go, it's finished rendering, and it says completed in 55 seconds. So this about 6-minute video rendered in 55 seconds, which is actually pretty good. Now we're going to be able to click on it, double tap, and now it's going to open so we can watch that outside of the DaVinci software, because we have successfully rendered the video. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do whatever. And if you don't want to do any of that, that's totally fine, guys. My tutorials are free. So thank you again, guys, so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Thank you so much.